Happy New Year. Welcome to the year 2023 to all our viewers from around the world. This is Naija Fans Forum. My name is Olafemi Ashaolu. Thank you for the journeys we had together in 2022. So let's do it together this 2023. Once again, I welcome you to our very first edition in a brand new year. My name is once again Olafemi Ashaolu. Kadogundari joins me via video. And of course, together today we'll be talking about African football, Ghanaian football, and every other thing that of course, we think we needed to know how it is going right now. Now, of course, the 2023 CHAN will be kicking off this weekend, and there's still a lot of controversy regarding the participation of Morocco. So we'll be bringing you into action as far as that is concerned. But today we'll start with Mohammed Kudus. I said they are ready to listen to offers for him, and of course, the hometown of Otoado. He was honored for being the first Ghanaian to play and also coach at the World Cup. And of course, we'll be talking about the Black Galaxies, the preparation for the CHAN tournament. Remember, they stopped Nigeria, from qualifying for that tournament. So much to talk about. And of course, there is a debate that FIFA should play both men and women senior World Cup at the same time in order to boost women football like they do in the Women Grand Slam. Do you agree with that? We'll also be talking about that. So once again, welcome to Nigeria's Fans Forum. Kade, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much, Femi. Happy New Year to you. Happy New Year to all our fans all over the world. It's a brand new year. Let's get kicking.
Unfortunately, James couldn't join us, but of course the show has to go on. Kade, let's talk about Mohammed Kudus. Of course, even before the World Cup, is been the main thing that people talk about in the Ayew setup. And at the World Cup, of course, he also marketed himself, whether we like it or not. Now, Ayew said they are ready to listen to offers above 25 million euros for him. I think it's also important that we talk about the fact that he should go to a club where he will continue to develop. Kylie.
You took that right out of my mouth, Femi. I think the most important thing is Kudus is still in a developmental stage. He's not the finished article yet. He needs to go to a club where he's sure of regular football. Femi, he's in the window now because he has gotten a good run with Ajax. Now, if he goes to a big club for the sake of just having a transfer, it could stunt his development, it could stunt his growth. So for me, while it's good to go to a bigger club, I also hope that his handlers will choose a club where his growth is assured, that he's going to keep playing, he's going to keep getting regular playing time. And that for me is a bit, if you're talking about whether he should move or not, I think he should seize the moment now that he's out there, everybody's looking at him and they're thinking, wow, this is the next big thing to come out of Africa. I think he should just seize the opportunity, but make sure that in seizing the opportunity, I'd rather go to a club where it is sure I'm going to play than go to a club where I'll get more money, but I'll be on the bench. Because in Femi, if he doesn't get to play regularly, if he's not in our faces in the next 2-3 years, nobody will be talking about him again. I hope he's led aright by those who handle his business. I hope they do not allow their own pecuniary gains to overshadow what is his best interest for me. But if you ask me, I'll be delighted to see him move away from Ajax. Not because they're not good. Great players have come out of the Ajax system, but I'm saying this is the time for him to cash in on his popularity, on his good form at the World Cup, and make something for himself, for Ghana, and for his pocket too. Because Femi, at the end of the day, what matters most is how much you're able to put by. That's what I think.
Okay, so just for the reminder, Mohammed Kudus became the first Ghanaian to score a brace at the World Cup. Of course, he did that at this World Cup, and he also got an assist. But Kyle, if you look at Liverpool are one of the teams in the running for his signature. But right now, the Liverpool team is almost saturated because they just got Cody Gakpo. They already have Luis Diaz. So, and I don't know, in the except maybe Jurgen Klopp will create a way for him in the midfield because I feel he can develop on that jogging club, and also Ajax also in the running for his services. But very quickly, between these two teams, which of them do you think Kudus should choose if he is in that position?
I think Kudus should choose what is best for Kudus, not what I like. Definitely not what I like. But if you're looking at Liverpool as it is, fine, they are having a terrible run, so to speak, a terrible run now. But the fact is, he has like for like players in the current Liverpool team that it might be very difficult for him to just break into that team. On the flip side, it will be a good opportunity because if your Klopp is the kind of manager that he gives you a long rope, he allows you to show that either you deserve to be in his team or you deserve to be shunted aside. So if he goes there, he's sure that at least he will be able to prove himself. But getting to establish himself in a team like Liverpool will become a problem. Yeah, Liverpool are struggling. Some say their recent form is as a result of the fact that they allow Sadio Mane to leave. I do not share that opinion of him, to be honest with you. I just think the Liverpool team has peaked. And now, like it's natural, according to the natural order of things, they are on the downward slope. It doesn't mean they are not going to rise again. But just for now, they are just on the. It's not because of Sadio Mane. I do not share that. Actually, I was in a discussion with somebody earlier today, and they said the same thing to me when I was seeing their game against Brentford, and they were all over the place, not doing anything fantastic. So for me, I think going to big club is good. Like I said, at the risk of repeating myself, I want him to be careful. There are other clubs he could go to, but the most important thing is Ajax have laid a marker. They want 25 million or more for their player. It is those who are ready to do business, those who are serious about doing business, that will make a bid. Femi, let's wait until bids are in before we decide to talk about where it should go. You'll be surprised, even this Liverpool might end up not putting in a bid. We've seen it happen several times when there will be speculations about a player, and at the end of the day, they will go to somewhere totally different because the team that we have all speculated did not put in a bid. Like the Gakpo guy that you're talking about, United did not put in a bid, even though the player openly courted United. He said he would have loved to be a United player, but the club, they look at the resources they have, they felt they could do at least until the end of the season without him. And we are not even sure what is in the pipeline, whether they are looking at other players or not. So for me, I will wait until official bids are in before I start talking about where he should go to.
Okay, Kaudi, in Ghana, of course, I remember last week we talked about Mohammed Kudus, who was honored in his community, Nima, in Ghana. And of course, the Bubea Sheikh community, I think I got that right. I believe I got that right. They honored Otoado. Sorry?
Go ahead.
Okay, so Bubea Sheikh community in Ghana, they honored Otoado for becoming the first Ghanaian to play and also to coach at the World Cup. Remember, he made his debut at the World Cup in 2006. And of course, it was the whole community, everybody came out to honor him. And I believe Otoado perhaps was in the community to celebrate the early days with his community. And it was so much fun, so exciting to see.
Yeah, it is. And actually, for me, I think some of these things are necessary. You know what? When you honor people while they are still alive, what you're saying is you are sending messages to other people that, you know what, you could also do this and get this kind of honor. So for me, it's not about Otoado now. It's about those other players, those others who are aspiring to also coach and represent Ghana at other levels. They see what is being done to this guy. They feel, oh, you know what, this is a thing of joy. I would also like something like this to be done for me. So for me, it's a good thing. I like it. I saw the ceremony. At least I saw images and everything, and I was happy for him, and I'm happy for the community too, that they are very proud to associate with him, and he's also proud to associate with the community. Now, it's a symbiotic thing. Now, let's see how that impacts on other people, aspiring players, administrators, coaches, and all along the value chain.
Okay, Akari, let's talk about the preparation of the Black Galaxies for the 2023 channel. They played two friendly. They defeated Egypt on that 20 team, and surprisingly, they also defeated Al Ahly 3-1 in the friendly game in the warm-up. Now, Kyle, I think the Black Galaxies are really taking the boot by the horn. They are showing that they are going to be intentional in this tournament. And but the major thing is Morocco. The controversy is still surrounding Morocco. As a matter of fact, Morocco, they're even more in the news now than even what the Black Galaxies are doing, because they're in the same group, and Morocco, they are still threatening to pull out of the tournament. But Kyle, is it going to be good news to the Black Galaxies should Morocco pull out?
Tell me, why do I have this feeling that you like getting victories from the back door? Remember, your club got one last season. I'm going to keep talking about it, Femi. Seriously speaking, let me start by saying the CHAN for me is the most important competition in CAF calendar. It is an as much as possible the most accurate measurement of how football is growing on the continent. Because when you talk about the AFCON, players come from European clubs, they bring whatever they've learned in Europe, and they show it without a trickle-down effect on their national football. But when you talk about the CHAN is a competition where your league is reflected in your performance. So now, for us to know how much Ghana have improved, we'll see the improvement in the kind of players that will come from the domestic league to come and play this. The same way with that's why you see that most of the CHAN has been dominated by North African teams because of the quality of their domestic leagues. Now, this is a good opportunity for Ghana and the other countries, especially in sub-Saharan Africa, to get one over the Northern Africans. And how do you do this? One, if this political battle that is going on between Morocco and Nigeria is not resolved in time because Morocco and Algeria, because the Moroccan FA boss has said they're not going to participate in the CHAN if they are not allowed to fly directly from Morocco to to Constantine where they are going to play. And the Algerians are saying, no, you have to do what every other country is going to do. You come in, you go through our national racing and go to Constantine where you're supposed to play. If they do not participate, do I think it's an advantage for Ghana? It is not sure, but it will be a good one. Femi, it will be a good one because that's one less formidable opponent to deal with. Because let's not deceive ourselves. Morocco are on track to win this back to back to back. They've won the last 2 editions. They are capable of winning this on the back of what we saw at the World Cup. Fine, some of the players who played at the World Cup will not be in this team, but they still have a very formidable team that will play the CHAN. We've seen how developed their football is over the years. Does this affect Ghana's chances? Yes, positively. If they don't have to play Morocco, they have lesser headaches to think about. They play the other 2 teams, and then they will take their chances. So for me, I will join Ghana in praying that Morocco do not come. That's me. I'll pray they do not come. In war, everything is fair. You fight your battles with everything you have legally. So if they choose not to come, it is not because Ghana asked them not to come. It is because they choose to play politics and refuse to come.
Well, not with the biological weapon.
You said? You said what?
I said not with a biological weapon.
No, this legal.
Chemical weapon. I said in war.
Yeah, all is fair. This is fair. So if they choose not to come, fine. The competition will go on because not one country cannot stampede the whole of Africa. The competition will go on. And then Ghana will have one less country to worry. We're talking about Morocco, Femi. We're talking about the defending champions, 2-time champions, back-to-back champions now. So I think it's time that this competition comes to West Africa. And what a better time. Let Ghana win it. Let any other West African country win it. But I think because they are direct rivals in the same group, it will do Ghana a whole lot of good if Morocco don't come. But I hope they do, so that we have a full house. We have a good tournament, a quality tournament, so that we're able to measure how far we have gone in between now and the last time this competition held. So for me, I hope everybody is present. But if they choose not to come, congratulations in advance to Ghana.
Okay, the Black Galaxies is the first game in Group C. Is against Madagascar on January 15th, though the tournament kicks off this weekend. But I'm sure you do not expect that this the row between Morocco and Algeria should affect the Black Galaxies. I'm not sure it's going to create any distraction. Do you think so?
I do not think so, and I hope they will not come back and tell us that it was because Morocco and Algeria have a confrontation. That's why they didn't do it well. It's like me saying that you have headache and I'm taking Panadol and I expect your headache to go. No, it doesn't have anything to do with it. They should just focus on their own game. And like you said, those were two heartwarming results against the Egyptian sides that they played. But for me, Femi, competitions and pre-tournaments are different things. You have to show that you are capable of doing this. And honestly, I think they should be able to do it. They should be able to do it, Femi. I think one of the early favorites for this tournament will be Ghana. I'm staking out my reputation that they are one of the favorites to win this competition, especially if certain Morocco chose not to come. Yeah.
Okay. I think I will also agree with you because, of course, haven't beaten Al Ahly and also haven't beaten the Egyptian under-20 team. It showed that they really mean business. So we wish the Black Galaxies all the best. And of course, for emphasis, in the 3-1 victory over Al Ahly, of course, Daniel Afriye, he got a goal in that game. Kayode, let's talk about this debate about women's football. You know, there's been suggestion that women's football is not developing at the same pace with the men's football. And some people have thrown up debate that FIFA should devise a means or a way in which the women's World Cup, the Senior World Cup now, will also take place at the same time with the men's World Cup, as it is done in tennis, where you see during the Grand Slams now. Of course, the Australian Open is already almost underway, and also we have Wimbledon, we have the US Open, and we have the French Open. So some people are saying, okay, let's also play the women's World Cup like this, so that the women's football can enjoy some boost, some financial input as men. Do you think that this is going to work out?
I do not agree with those who say that, because firstly, what they are losing sight of is the fact that we are talking about two different competitions that have like a lot of history between them. We're talking about the FIFA World Cup, the first of which was played in 1930, Femi. 1930. I don't know where you were then. The FIFA Women's World Cup, the first time it was played was in 1991. That is some 60 odd years after. And between 1991 and now, I've seen tremendous improvement in the women's game. Femi, not only at the world stage, even in Africa. The last Women's Nations Cup, you saw the quality of football on display. Nigeria, South Africa, Morocco, and there are a whole lot of other countries coming up.
Zambia.
And Zambia, God bless you. Those 4 teams showed us. Okay, let me even remove Nigeria, because we know Nigeria has always been the powerhouse in women's football in Africa. Let's remove them. But you were pleasant. I'm very sure before the competition, Femi, you wouldn't have tipped Morocco to go that far. Fine, South Africa have always been around the quarterfinals, semifinals, and the finals. Then the Zambians also came as a breath of fresh air. So for me, that shows tremendous improvement. If you now subsume it under the men's game, that means you are killing the women's game. I would fight tooth and nail for me to see that does not come to pass. Let the like according to Chino Achebe, he said let this person pitch and let this other person pitch. Let the women's team competition be as it is. Let it develop at its own pace. Let the men's competition continue to grow. It has had like some 90 years of experience, which the women's game doesn't have. We're just like 30 years now into the women's game. And I can tell you, Femi, I saw the first World Cup, the first Women's World Cup. And between then and the last one, I can tell you that there's a whole world of difference. So let's just keep the gains. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. Let's keep the gains on and on. It could be in trickles. It could just be meretricious, like it's not pumping. Even the men's game is not where it is today, was not where it started from. It grew over time. Let's allow the women's game to also grow. By stampeding it, by putting it under the men's game, we are killing the women's game. A lot of girls are coming through the ranks. For me, I see women's football in Nigeria. I see clubs. I see young girls who want to play football. I see them. I see the enthusiasm. I see the talent. Oshoala is there. She's a shining example of what the average African girl can be. She's as good as anybody. The same for the South African captain, I'm forgetting her name, and a couple of
Kablaga, who was not even in Kablaga, who was not even at because of
Yes, and
injuries.
see what South Africa were able to do, even in an absence. It tells you something about the quality of their team. Look at the Moroccans. I saw 2, 3 girls in the Moroccan squad that will play even in this Nigerian team. I remember seeing the Moroccan team. I ran into them at the Aisha Buhari Cup in Lagos. That was this year or last year. Oh, sorry, we're in another year already. I think that was
Already
last in 2022.
Yeah.
I saw the girls. Femi, these girls were very young girls, 17, between the ages of 17 and 22. And see what they did. They beat Nigeria in Nigeria. They beat us controversially, so to speak, at the Nations Cup, but in Nigeria, at the Aisha Buhari Cup, they defeated us. That shows that there's a huge difference, a huge growth in the women's game. Let us continue along this path, Remy. I don't want us to rush by saying, okay, we want to put the game under the men's game. No, it doesn't work that way. It is against the natural order of things for me. And we just allow things to go.
Okay, Kyle, before we go, let's talk about Jordan Ayew. I know maybe Ghanaians are still not, maybe they've still not forgiving him about what happened at the World Cup. Remember the anchor towards himself and the brother in that defeat to Uruguay. But Jordan Ayew scored maybe his second goal of the year in the entire 2022 for Crystal Palace in the Premier League. He scored a goal in April and he scored one in May until December. This December 2020, when he scored in Crystal Palace's away 2-0 away win to Bournemouth. Coyote, I think if you're a forward player, yeah, you're hardworking, you help the team. I also think that you should be able to at least have a get at goal yourself. I don't know. Do you think such a person is still relevant to the Black Stars team? Because, yeah, you're a forward player, you work hard for the team. But what about scoring as well, Kennedy? I don't know what you think. I don't know what our fans will think.
Yeah, let me put it that way. This might sound controversial. I know a lot of fans will call for my head for this, but I think players are different. There are some players, there are some players who are in the team who are a force in scoring goals. There are some in creating goals. Jordan Ayew has never been a prolific scorer. He's always been involved. I think we should not look about the number of goals he has scored, because I think the only season that he could be termed as productive was the season he scored like I think 13 or 14 goals. That has been his highest return ever. He has always been scoring 7, 8, 9. But then when you take the totality of his contribution, the assists, the passes, everything, the struggling and everything leading to goals, you will see that he's a very, very important player. That's why each succeeding coach that comes to clubs where he has played, they always keep on paying him. There's something they see in him that we might not be patient enough to see. So for me, if the coaches still want him, this is entirely the duty of the remit of the coaches. If they still think he's important to the Black Stars, which I think he is, Femi, to be honest, they should just keep playing him. I do not see any. Yeah, I do not see any reason. See, forget the fans. The fans, football fans are fickle. They are saying this because whatever happened at the World Cup, another good performance for the Black Stars. Everybody will forget what happened in the past. They will keep ailing him.
Everyone will start thinking his praise.
Yeah, that's the way football and footballers are. One mistake should not define their entire career. Jordan Ayew has always proven to me, Femi is in the mold of our Daniel Amokachi, the bull. People talk about Amokachi, they forget that he didn't have this stellar scoring record. Fine, he played with the greatest of them all, Rashidi Yekini. So, and his contribution largely, even in all the teams he has played, even at the I consider him one of our most important players at Atlanta 96, not because he scored 2 goals. He scored only 1 goal in Atlanta. That was in the final. But you know what? The totality of his contribution makes him indispensable. That's the kind of person I think Jordan Ayew is. He may not score a bucket load of goals, but be sure that he will help you contribute in getting the goals. Fine, you will make mistakes. We are all human. You and I also make mistakes. That does not mean anybody should call for our head. Doesn't mean we should say we should be asked from this program. We do it. We get better with each mistake that we make, and I think life goes on. So I don't share the opinion that he should be dropped. Although if the coaches feel they do not need him again, they have better players, I think they should just go on with that.
Okay, Kyle, before we go down, we just have to talk about it. Of course, you saw Lens's game, the 3-1 win over PSG, and you saw Abdul Samad. It was very fantastic, Kyle. It was PSG's first defeat, I think, since March 2022.
Yeah, I think this is Abdul Samad is one of the players that have impressed me the most in the Ghana team of recent. I saw him at the World Cup. He played in practically all of their games. He was solid in the middle of the park. Although he's of slight frame, he's not the kind of player that will strike you as being you can't call him formidable. But then when you see him play, you understand that he has this engine inside of him. I saw him against PSG 2 days ago, and I must tell you that I was totally very, very impressed with his work output, with his work rate and everything. He was able to contain the area of stars that PSG paraded. And for me, since we are talking about rebuilding the Black Stars, these are boys that should be the bedrock of the Black Stars. Femi, you've talked about Jordan Ayew now. I've talked about Salis Abdul Samad. We're talking about Kudus. The future is bright for the Stars, Femi. There are a group of young stars that can actually take this team to the next level. But I tell you, you should be on the lookout for Samed. He is a player for the future.
Okay, so for the sake of time, this is the best place to leave it to the Kyle Ogundare. Thank you for coming on our first recording of the year 2020.
Thank
you for your time.
Thank you very much, Femi. See you.
So our viewers around the world, like I said, thank you for the journey all through 2022. This is 2023. Let's do it together. What are the things that you're looking out for regarding sport in Africa? Please, you can put it in the comment section. So let's do this together once again this year. My name is Olafemi Ashalu. Unfortunately, James couldn't join us, but the next program, I'm sure it will be right there. So until we'll see you the next time, bye for now.